Well, when you're Dr. Ben, there's only one way to go to work. There's the Capitol building on the scooter. Shirt and tie, let's do this.
Hello and welcome to the Dr. Ben Live podcast. This is the #1 natural health podcast on the internet. I'm Dr. Ben, founder of a multi-site, Jesus-loving wellness company called Well Health and Chiropractic. My mission is simple: to help you and your family build a legacy of great health using the normal function of the body that God already gave you. So if you're ready for straight talk, practical steps, and a fresh perspective on health, you're in the right place. I'm Dr. Ben. Let's get started.
All right, on today's episode of the Well Health Show, I am on location here. You can see the Capitol, U.S. Capitol's right there. I'm in Washington, D.C. This is the Senate building over here, really interesting. I was fortunate enough to get invited to be a part of Tennessee Tuesday. Got to speak with our state senator, Bill Hagerty. Got to meet Marsha Blackburn as well. We'll get to have lunch with Senator Hagerty, which was great, and the team, and get a tour. It was pretty fun. So. So fun fact, by the way, this building behind me back here, that's the Russell State building, and it's actually, they go underground, and there's a little shuttle that takes you to the U.S. Capitol. So we got to go in there. It was a really cool tour when we got done with actually meeting with them. But anyways, big takeaways that we have for this week, and that is #1 is the state of Tennessee is fantastic. We actually have people that care and they listen, and it does make a difference. And if you do want to be heard, Tennessee is a good state for that. However, a couple of unfortunate takeaways, besides this mosquito trying to get me, is, and then I tell you what, there's a lot of big pharmaceutical money in there. It is, you gotta realize that these politicians, there's lobbyists on both sides when it comes to money, and they're trying to get elected, and you can just kind of feel that when you're inside of the Capitol and inside of the inner workings of our government. So, because one of the things I wanted to come here and talk about was the fact that we don't, in the natural health care space, have freedom of speech. Like, I can't say stuff. Like, if I want to tell you, if I was a pharmaceutical company and I want to tell you to take cancer drugs and, they're going to be the greatest things in the world and vitamins are terrible for you, which is what happens in our medical system, unfortunately, that's perfectly legal and that's great. But if I want to tell you in the natural healthcare space, if I want to share a differing opinion, I could potentially lose my chiropractic license because that's practicing medicine without a license. Well, I'm not practicing medicine, I'm trying to get people healthy. I'm not practicing medicine, I'm practicing healthcare. But what it really just means to me is the fact that this game has to be won really grassroots. So like, what are you and your family going to do about it? I might not be able to today speak as openly as I want to on a public format of exactly what amazing things natural health care can do for you. For example, if somebody has cancer, it's of my opinion, which by the way, that's the thing, it's of my opinion that getting healthy is a way to help your body heal from diseases, is getting healthy. All of what I just said right there is quasi-legal. YouTube is going to tell me that I'm really not allowed to say that. Facebook definitely isn't going to let me say that. And it's ridiculous that I have to dance around the fact that you need to be healthy. This morning, before this right here, by the way, I got up, and before this, I got up and I got from my hotel and I ran about 2 miles to the Lincoln Memorial, which was really cool. I got to see the sun rise over top of the Washington Monument from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Just ran past the Lincoln Memorial. That's pretty cool. Get to go meet senators today for Tennessee Tuesday. Pretty cool invitation. There's the Washington Monument. I will have to say thanks, Trump, for keeping this place safe Started running, it was dark, felt safe and sound. Turns out I need to get back a little quicker, so I'm taking a scooter. And these are things that healthy people do, and that's how your body can fight disease and stay healthy so you can be healthy and well. And I'm not suggesting that everybody has to go run every day, but being healthy, doing the healthy things is what keeps your body from getting these major diseases that are absolutely on the rise. So I did a lot of research this week, by the way, me and the research of ChatGPT, which is great. And I want to say, okay, if chronic disease, this is crazy stat. So if chronic disease comes up where we're at, so chronic disease is just taking off. As a matter of fact, it's taking off and up to the right. So it's just taking off. If chronic disease leveled off, right? So let's just say that as of today, there was some sort of a drug or medication or anything that made it so that we have the same amount of chronic disease. Not less, but not more, but we had the same amount of chronic disease. Guess how much money Big Pharma would lose in the next 20 years? Guess how much money they would lose if we just stayed the same unhealthy and they could just only have $300 to $400 billion of profit. That's all they got stuck with is $300 to $400 billion of profit. They didn't have like an escalating profit. Guess how much they'd lose? Ready? $1.6 trillion. And that's what ChatGPT tells me, right, is that they're going to lose for the next 20 years is 1.6 trillion with a T dollars. So there's probably going to be some fruitless efforts of trying to stop them. But here's how you're going to stop them. Is it your family, your kids, your wife, yourself? That's how you're going to stop that. Is you can get yourself healthy and well, and then you don't have to participate in the system. Does that make sense? And that's why at Well Health and Chiropractic, that's one thing that's why we started our chiropractic company. We have 15 locations at this time. Our goal is 1,000 clinics, and we are doing things. We are the hands and the feet. And that was super fun, by the way. I got to talk to Senator Haggerty, and I said, he said, you got a minute? Like, there was multiple times we had to talk, but they said, give your elevator speech, and I basically had the opportunity to say, that we have a Christian chiropractic and wellness franchise. We're starting a movement. We have 15 locations as we speak. Said we are the hands and the feet of the healthy changes that you're hearing coming out of the mouths of RFK Jr. Like, we're the people who are actually doing the thing. Listen, obviously, food dyes are terrible for you, but what are you going to do about it? Like, what are you going to do about it? That's what Well Health and Chiropractic means. That's what our company is made for. And that's why I appreciate you guys being part of our podcast, because this is what we try to teach you. We are the hands and the feet of the healthcare movement that is happening right now in front of our eyes. And it is beautiful that on the world stage with RFK Jr., we're starting to get attention to some of these things we've been talking about for a long time. But that's what this podcast is about, is I want to educate you and teach you on what exactly do you do about it. How do you bring that healthcare and wellness message to your house, to your family? What if you have heart disease? What if you have cancer? What if you have thyroid disorders? What are you going to do about it? And we have solutions. And the podcast talks about solutions, but also most importantly, zip into the office and you can physically experience the solutions. Now, if you don't live anywhere near a clinic one of our 15 clinics and growing, if you don't live near a clinic, that's okay. Still look, we've got some products that can ship to your house that are things that you can do well where you're at. And that's, again, the heart of what we're trying to pull off. I'll leave it right there. It's going to be a short podcast this week, but I tell you, man, what a beautiful thing. And I also want to give a shout out to my man, Trump, for sending the military here, because I got to run this morning before it was light outside, and I felt super safe. There were police, like I was watching on the plane ride over, I watched some garbage on CNN about, they don't want these police officers here. We don't want this military here. Are you kidding me? When it's dark and you're in a city that you're unfamiliar with and you see your soldiers standing there armed, you feel pretty darn safe and good. Whew, give me a break. Like, we love it. It's amazing. What a safe city. What a great place. I think that we live in the greatest country on planet Earth. We're so blessed to be here, and we're grateful for that. And we're grateful for the fact, by the way, that we do have the amount of speech that we can say, and I can say, God is good. And that's the most important piece of the freedom of speech that I like in our country. Guys, I am Dr. Ben, and this is your episode of The Well Health Show.